Hello, Twitch. We're finally here. Technical difficulties and all. We are here. This is
Technical difficulties.
technical
Agreed.
difficulties. Technical difficulties. Um, Paladin Dad, do you want to introduce us? You want
Yeah,
to start us off?
I want to. This is Dungeons and Dragons Broken Throne, brought to you by Gamers for Peace, an initiative by Veterans for Peace. And we play some Dungeons and Dragons. And we interject a lot of stuff that we can talk about later. We usually do 2 hours of gaming and a half an hour of post game comments where we bring up all the militarism, toxic gaming culture, and other stuff that we want to talk about that got brought up during the session. And it's fun, and we do it. And I'm Paladin Dad, aka Garrett Reppenhagen, aka Rep, aka some other stuff. Sometimes I'm in Twitch as a different name. So most people are figuring that out, I think, already. But that's a secret. And I am the executive director of Veterans for Peace. I am um, the dungeon master of this silly game we play. And I'm a war veteran. I served as a sniper and cavalry scout in the 1st Infantry Division, U.S. Army, and I'm ashamed of it. So that's me. Plantifa.
Hey, I'm Tim. I'm really into crypto, and I really think Elon Musk is gonna save us. I think the police should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. And just kidding. This was like a joke from the last game, so I decided to play it up as a cosplay. This one as like a quick one. Um, if you could figure out where I drew inspiration, I don't know. You get the confidence to know that you figure something out, and that's good for you. But otherwise, I'm a Marine Corps vet, and I play D&D with these guys. And I mean, I don't know if ashamed is the right word, but I definitely did not like the role that I played in uplifting the military-industrial complex, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life fighting against it, probably with a lot of these people too. How about TJ next?
You caught me in one of those dads trying to digital moments. Like I cannot like multitask. I was trying to post on Facebook that we're live on the stream now, and then you threw it to me. But yeah, I'm TJ, aka Bob Barker, the half elf bard here. I'm gonna go on ahead and get my military time out of the way so I don't forget it, because I will forget to tell you that I was in the military too, because I hated it. I think the military is bullshit.
Same.
Yeah. There, but I was in the Navy from 98 to '04, deployed to the Mediterranean, South America, and then 2003 on a broke down ship taking the Marines to invade Iraq. Yeah, so like I said, I hate the military. I hate everything it stands for, represents, and I have dedicated my life to completely demolishing it and rebuilding society anew with a better moral turpitude, I guess you would say. And been involved off and on with Veterans for Peace, About Face, Iraq Veterans Against the War, and Poor People's Campaign since 2009, starting off with Veterans for Peace. And I'm going to throw it over to Malcolm in the Middle.
Thank you, thank you. So I play Malcolm. My name's Dave. Okay, I'm a vet as well. Not a combat vet, but U.S. Coast Guard, protecting that desert back in Nevada. Um, I've been friends with Garrett for a long time. Been here, serving, playing here with the Gamers for Peace, and yeah, no, I think as everybody else states here, that war should not be used. I mean, we're better than that. So all in all, yeah, nope, I am just here chilling, gamer and all. And I will pass it to Genie.
Genie, our real name's Frank. I play Genie. I half Genie slash half. I don't know it. he would be. But anyway, I also go by For Outreach, or Frank's my real name. I'm the token civvy here, I guess. Although I was in the military industrial complex on the civilian side, managed a gun range, FBO contracts, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. Trying to help out where I can and get into politics and right the wrongs of potential futures. So anyway, let's have some fun.
Sin, you're up.
I think that leaves me.
Oh, yep. Sin's left. Sorry, Sin.
Not a
I
problem.
thought you went first.
For once, I didn't. I'm Sincerely V, also known as that elephant dude in the game. I play Bernie Sanders. And,
Are you trying to sell insurance?
Sometimes. I mean, I'm trying to sell the idea of medical insurance that actually works for the people and covers them and all their healthcare needs at a universal level. I'm selling Medicare for all, is what I'm trying to say. Bringing that lay on hands type care directly to your neighborhood, Paladin style. I am a United States Marine Corps vet. I did not ever take voice acting classes, as you can tell. I served in the Marine Corps from 2004 to 2010 with deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. Spent a few years wandering and lost, like a lot of vets do, and found my way to Veterans for Peace, where I'm a digital organizer. I'm a staff member and really enjoy getting to help out and create this platform. I'm a community member of Gamers for Peace. I'm also on the FPS team trying to click heads for peace. And I'm glad to be here. It's awesome. Paladin Dad, you're muted.
Not anymore. Yeah. I'm trying to digital too. Sometimes it gets hard. I'm Generation X, so if it's not a Nintendo controller.
Oh yeah, you're a solid X, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm right.
I'm a Zennial. My wife and I fight over it. We're 41. She's a month older than me. We're Zennials, but she doesn't admit it. You're an X.
I was informed that I am now referred to as a geriatric millennial.
Yeah, that's a Zennial. Yeah.
Wow, what does that make me? Holy shit.
Just geriatric? I don't know.
Geriatric. I'm just a Jerry. Double Jerry. Damn, man. Yeah. I get fucked, like millennials think I'm a boomer. Boomers think I'm a millennial. Like, I don't get anywhere.
Okay, Balloomillennial.
That's me.
Don't ask me what I just said there.
Yeah, something crazy.
I wouldn't be able to repeat it.
Carpetarian.
All right, TJ, what's a turpitude?
Turpitude, moral turpitude. In the military, we would say something similar would be intestinal fortitude. But so you're taking it out of the intestines and putting it forth, and it's more about like what you do with your morality, putting your morality in play.
All right, is this a real word?
Turpitude. I am going to go to the dictionary.
Yeah.
We're going to the producers real quick.
Turpitude is I mispronounced it, but but yeah. So acts of depravity, wickedness. So like flip it around. So yeah.
Huh. Learned a new word today.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can fit it into the game.
Yeah. Well, that's
we do a word of the day every D&D.
Sounds like a haggis recipe.
There's some good like Dungeons and Dragons recipes out there. There's some good have you ever seen the Game of Thrones cookbook and like
I've got a D&D.
Oh gosh, that would scare me. The Game of Thrones one.
That's Gourmands for Peace material right there.
Mm-hmm.
I should bust out I actually have the D&D cookbook.
Oh, you do?
Make some stuff out of it. Yeah.
Sick.
I should have made stuff for our Memorial Day thing. Hey, why am I thinking about that now? Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, well, Memorial Day, we celebrated fuck war, and
Oh.
Veterans for Peace. Little controversial, turns out. But
Isn't all war controversial?
yeah, I don't know. Like, what's more profane, war or curse words?
I wish I could make a better 8th season.
Hmm.
I mean, I probably could make a better one considering how low they set the bar, but I don't have the resources.
Yeah, that's always the problem. If only we had 50% of all American tax money, and
39.6. Isn't that what he just said now?
Excuse me, socialism is an evil ideology.
All right,
I will offer no other explanation.
Tim, you're full in character, and I
All
really
right, Chris.
appreciate it.
Is it Tim, not Chris?
Yeah.
I thought it was Chris.
Is that a White Claw in your hand?
No.
Oh, that's the worst burn on Temple I've heard.
Uh,
That was the worst stunt I've ever. Oh my god, it was amazing though.
All right. Well, what are we gonna do? Game today?
Maybe
I
for 5 minutes.
Guess.
Maybe.
probably
All right.
should.
Never.
Last we left off, you all were hanging out in the Hidden Heart Inn. You've just basically smuggled the old dwarf bridge into the inn, and he adamantly wants to go down to the city hall and give him what for, and you're probably saving his life by keeping him suspended in the inn there. Basically, he's the engineer, the architect of a series of vaults that contain war puppets, aerial archer war puppets that are basically drones, and he created these vaults to basically hide him away from the rest of society, and it's he has some knowledge about how to get in these places and how to get out of them. But apparently, there's a crew of Sandleaf soldiers that are trying to uncover these drones, these war puppets, and y'all are onto them. You're right behind them, maybe by a day or two, and but you really don't know exactly where they went. And you also were attacked by a demonologist, and he launched a handful of nasty demons on you, which you thoroughly defeated, and kicked the demonologist's ass, and found a key on the demonologist's body that had the words I'm forgetting the name of it. Ludler? Looking for it. Ludler. Yeah. I remembered something. So you have this key, and you're at Seymour's Hidden Heart Inn, and I think he was like hanging out. He's a gnome. He owns the inn. What do you want? Like, shut up. Was that a short joke? Watch your mouth. You need something? What do you got? You got questions? Or I'll leave you be.
I think we're good, Seymour. We really appreciate your friendship and your
Maybe
discretion.
Yeah. Well, everybody's Seymour's friend, so y'all are good. All right, let me know if you need anything. We got some good croissants and baking up in the oven over there. And, if you need some gruel, I'm pretty good at making gruel, but I'm better at mixing drinks. That's what I do.
Thank you, Seymour.
All right, so
We
Seymour
appreciate you.
He gives a bow and closes the door behind him. You're left to your own devices with an angry dwarf that you could tell in his eye he still wants to go down to City Hall and crack a few skulls, but he is a very old dwarf.
And are we in like the main area, like the dining hall?
You're upstairs in private rooms.
Private rooms? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not talking to each other at the moment?
No, you're all together.
Okay.
You've got a handful of rooms, but you're all crowded in one right now. Shrugging your shoulders, like, what do we do?
We called that the amphib salute when I was in the Navy.
The shuffle.
Uh-uh.
No.
Lance Corporal don't know.
Ask the Marines what we're doing. We're the Navy.
Dwarf stands up like he's going to march out of the room and sees the look in your all's eye, and he sits back down in a huff.
That's right. We better chill out.
So, what are we gonna do? Same thing we do every night.
Bring peace and prosperity to the world.
I like that.
I go grab the key and show it to the dwarf and ask him, "What do you think of this key? Have you seen this key before?"
No.
So I've never seen the key before, but I know what Ludler is.
What is it?
Ludler Manor. That's a place over near City Hall where I want to go. A lot of uppity ups stay there. It's kind of like a government building, but a hotel. Boards
What goes
people on.
on in there?
Well, people who are here to, work with the government usually stay there. It's they've got some back rooms, and I heard there's some wheeling and dealings back there, and if governmental business spills over into the back rooms, they go to Ludler.
Does it have any back ways to sneak in that you know of?
Of course. I can take you.
And
Kiria looks around at the others, waiting to see their reaction before
What?
she speaks.
I'm packing up my guitar and getting ready to go.
All right.
so, how are we health-wise and injury-wise?
Some of you have taken a little bit of a beating. You spelled up, you used some magics and healed a bit, but you've been hard charging here for a little while.
Maybe you weaklings should sleep for a little bit.
Just a tad, maybe like a power nap.
Can't somebody do some 4-hour like half rest thing or something? I can't. I'm a bard.
So-
I have no magic.
You can take a short rest, but
It's not what we do if you've already expended spell slots. We're not high enough yet, so.
TJ, last session you tried to do the your little merrymaking during a rest.
I did the charm person. That's my level 2 one. Yeah, that's that one.
That you do at a long rest, which is
Yeah,
what you
okay,
do.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Look, I've got it sitting right here in front of my damn eye. This is that thing I was telling y'all about earlier that I don't pay attention.
Well, attention's not free. So what do you see there? I think
A
to use
short
that, you have to
rest.
take
I
a.
give y'all a lullaby. If you or any friendly creatures who can hear regain hit points at the end of the short rest by spending 1 or more hit dice. Each of those creatures regains an extra 1d6 hit points. Yeah, so that's what that does. So I can play y'all a lullaby right now if y'all'd like, I guess, before we hit the road.
Do you want to take a short rest or a long rest? A long rest is like taking it to going to sleep, basically.
I'd prefer a long rest because I have the floaty spell or whatever. The levitate regenerates on a long rest.
I could use a long rest.
It has been a while. You guys haven't rested since you got into town.
Yeah. Genie's like falling asleep in the corner.
All right. So
he's gonna ask for a hotel or a bed to the gnome, right? As a
yeah,
bartender?
y'all have 3 rooms. Each room has 2 beds, and you also have a surly dwarf that is
Don't dwarves just sleep on the floor though?
There's a bed for the dwarf. Because you have 3 rooms and 6 beds, so You can make him sleep on the floor if you must.
I'm gonna challenge him to
Feels
a
a little
drinking
rude.
game.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, a drinking game.
We're gonna play dice,
Okay.
and I'm gonna get him drunk until he passes out for a long rest.
Oh man,
I'm gonna persuade him to drink a bottle of alcohol to a point that would subdue a dwarf.
man. Can Loxodons drink? Are they
I-
known to be drinkers?
Uh,
Pink elephants, right?
we're elephants. We are.
This
we are,
one is.
Boom.
He's gonna be
I'm a gambling
pink by
man.
the end of the night.
All right. What is your dice rolling tactics that you use?
Hmm.
Are you kind of like a cheating paladin, or are you like a strategic dice player?
We're a strategic dice player.
I want you to make intelligence check
Hmm.
with your proficiency mod for gaming.
Okay.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
And you need to beat a 12. Whoa!
Well, I didn't see, and I'm +2 on that. That doesn't include my proficiency.
All right. So you rolled a natural 19 +1 for your intelligence. You're a smart elephant.
I'm
And
sorry.
yeah, and you're proficient at gaming, right?
Yes.
So at least dice. So all right, you're beating the pants off this dwarf. I'm gonna allow you to make a constitution check with an advantage, and he's just going to have a base constitution roll. Oh,
15.
all right. Despite the fact that you are beating him in dice, he is taking on a lot of drink. You also are starting to recall the fact that the gift to him to loosen his tongue a little bit was to bring a bottle of whiskey from Seymour's.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a hunch that that this dwarf can drink a lot. But you're basically matching him, and both of you are getting a little woozy.
Mm.
If you push it any further, you might pass out, and he might be wide awake. By this time, you look around, and everybody else is asleep.
My friend Bridge, how about we get some rest, and we're going to continue this match. I think we're both getting tired. It's been a long, long day. We outlasted these guys. Can I get a persuasion check to see if I can help ease him and
Roll it.
convince him to stay out?
Roll the persuasion.
Check mark means I'm proficient, right?
Yep.
That doesn't give me advantage.
No, but it should add your proficiency when you roll it.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Also make an insight check.
Nat 20.
He says, yeah, good idea. I can't wait to beat you in the morning in dice. Why don't we take a little nap then? You know that he's full of shit.
Bridge. Do you expect me to be that much of a novice dice player to not learn my friend's tales when I'm gambling with them? Come on, Bridge.
Look, we could just go down to City Hall right now, and we could get those bastards.
Bridge. We're trying to go down and figure it out, but we're fucking tired. Your house burnt down. We gotta rest up so we can help you. You think we want to sleep?
Bob wakes up and has to go pee.
The dwarf says, Bob is up. He's going pee. Well, look, it's Sandleaf that done this to me, and you're a Sandleaf soldier, so why should I trust you?
How do you know it's Sandleaf? I didn't see. Why would they attack Sandleaf Durham people?
I know it is.
Look, we'll get to the bottom of it. It wasn't us. We're here. We came to talk to you. All right. That's it. We'll figure it out. Why don't you get some rest? Clearer heads prevail. We'll get to the bottom of it. We got this.
Swear to me.
I can't make that oath. My first oath, it belongs to my order, and I have yet to make that. But what I can tell you is on my friendship with you, that we have cultivated over drink, stories, and dice, that we'll go figure this out tomorrow.
Not unless you swear.
You put me in a hard spot, Bridge. I understand.
Avia opens one of her eyes, coming out of her trance a little bit, overhearing the conversation.
Yeah, Bob's nonchalantly eavesdropping and sipping some water after he made room for more water.
Does anybody want to interject at all?
No, I'm trying to be inconspicuous about it.
Okay. Right. All right. Says, are you going to swear or not? Are you a man of your word?
The problem is I'm too much a man of my word, and I don't want to fail you, and not make sure that you're taken care of to a satisfactory condition. That burden, I don't know if I'll ever get an answer to this. I'll do my best.
You're a coward. He rolls over.
I hope one day I can change that. At least you don't have to deal with Malcolm.
He fake snores. Tries to cover up the sound of your voice. All right. You've sedated him enough. He passes out. Y'all get a good night's sleep. You get repowered up. You wake up in the morning. Birds are chirping. Sun is shining. What do you silly people do?
Well, don't we have to head to that manor?
Jeannie goes down to the bar and gets some breakfast.
Okay. So some good smells wafting up through the tavern. Seymour's in the corner. It's basically like an open kitchen. You could just see right in. Open area. He's got some good food cooking up. Other people are already eating. It's probably the third or fourth series of chow that he's made. There's a lot of locals in the tavern, eating away, making conversation. Seems like the Hidden Heart is a very diverse place. Unlike some of the taverns inside the city walls. You see a lot of travelers and a lot of people that prefer mixed company at Seymour's and not so much oversight from city guards and other things like that.
So Bob comes rumbling down the stairs and takes a seat next to the most interesting, seedy looking character in the room.
Okay. All right. You describe the most seedy character in the room. You got to help the DM.
I would damn it. I was
Yeah,
trying to
man.
see what you were gonna come up with.
Fuck
'Cause
no,
I knew I
this
had
is
you there.
this is a collaborative storytelling, and you
I
get to
knew
make
I
up the
had you
ending.
on that one. Gosh. Anyway, let's see. He's going to be back against the corner, kind of slouched down in his chair a little bit. I think he has on like a kind of like woolish, grayish, like you know those I know in the Navy we had these like wool blankets that were issued to us. Like it's kind of that material, kind of just cloak that he's kind of slouched down and pulled up so just barely you could see his eyes and face, but it's mainly shadows. And he looks, I don't know, probably mid 40s in human years. And yeah, I'd assume he's a human. Yeah, so take it from there.
All right. So you walk up to Strider. And he's minding his own business. He kind of lifts his head just a little bit to get an eye on you from underneath his cloaked hood. Can I help you, lad? What you need?
Bob Barker's the name. How's it going this morning, my friend?
Ah, heard of you. You're the bard, yeah?
Oh yeah, I can write a song or tell a tale, spin a yarn. With the best of them, I keep that Sandleaf culture alive and pristine and at the top of the world. So what brings you to this inn this morning, my friend?
Oh, imagine I'm just fishing.
Fishing for what? A tale, a drink, a friend?
A lead, perhaps.
Oh, what kind of lead you looking for? I got some friends with me. We might be able to talk some things out or something and help each other out.
Ever might be profitable.
Profit, huh? Profit. I'm not really driven by profit as much as cultural influences are my profit. So I like to see what's going down around the town, and I don't know. Let me see if any of my friends are interested as they come down the stairs this morning for breakfast. How about first of all, I pick up your breakfast, and is that a profit enough for you to start?
Oh yeah, that's a good start for sure. At least a nice hello.
Oh yeah. Well, good morning to you. I didn't catch your name again.
You jerk asking me names. It's the hardest job of a DM.
Well, you threw Strider out there. I was just waiting for you to keep going with that.
No. I'm just gonna open my book and look at the credits and pick a name. Lindsay.
Now you know how you made me feel. What was it?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, huh? Lindsay. Is that with the Z?
What's a Z?
Oh,
Linzey?
why'd you need a spelling? Just call me Lindsay. Are you gonna write it down or something?
Oh, I'm just trying to make conversation this morning. Don't mind me. It was a late night. I don't know. A couple folks up around us kept drinking and kept me up all night. So I'm gonna grab me some of the finest, darkest mud I can find under a burner, or on top of a burner, I guess I should say. Under a burner might not be good. But on top of the burner, and I'll come back and join you, Lindsay, and hopefully my friends will come down and we'll have a chat.
All right. What's everybody else doing? Malcolm, you had some strange dreams last night. You had some troubled dreams of multicolored dragons swirling about, muddling up your brain. You recall specifically images of a gold dragon, a brass dragon, a silver dragon, a copper dragon, a green dragon, a white dragon, a blue dragon, a red dragon, and a black dragon. Very, very specifically, 9 dragons exactly.
9 dragons.
Yep.
The 9. Okay.
It's almost like you were being called, but to where and from whom, you don't know.
No wonder he's dragging ass this morning.
And literally that's what I'm doing. I wake up since I couldn't get a good night's sleep. I go do a quick prayer to the one, and then I will unceremoniously, like with my armor and like my warhammer, like I'm actually just dragging like my warhammer with me, not even picking it up, just trying groggily going down the stairs.
It's making like a loud dragging noise. He doesn't care.
Seymour kind of walks by with the tray of food and just looks at you and says, "Watch the wood. You're gonna destroy my bar. Look, you made a dent in the stairs."
Seymour, you know that dent was there already.
Yeah, that's probably true. But still, you don't have to be dragging your warhammer around. This is a regular establishment.
I went and I swing up really close to him. This warhammer, really aggressively.
Yeah, that warhammer. Would it kill you just to leave your warhammer in your room for once?
And then I go bring out the best of me, and I just start, grab the warhammer like this and just patting it. This is a good warhammer. A good warhammer. And then I go mosey off to get me breakfast and sit there by the table. Do I see anybody else? Did anyone grab seats or no?
Yeah, I'm sitting eating breakfast.
I
Just
went
kinda
down there
waking
after
up.
you.
Lots of coffee.
I followed the dragging ass dragon and
I,
down the steps.
I order the stinkiest shot of whatever meat or I can and set it down in front of Bjorny and go, "Drink up, hair of the dog." Just kind of laugh.
And I'm sitting at a table with Lindsay and 5 empty seats.
We're all avoiding sitting there. I'm sitting in the corner, like staring at them, hoping that they don't ask me to sit there.
Uh-huh.
See, it's because he spells his name with a Z.
He just looks shady.
It's a shady looking dude.
You don't talk to shady looking dudes. That's the bard's job. The bard does the talking.
So, all right, y'all settled in to some breakfast. Bridge is down there. Seymour puts a cup of coffee in front of him with a obvious shot of some whiskey or something in there, and he seems to be nursing that, not interested in any food. And y'all carry on. TJ, you got up. Bob got up and found some food, and you're walking back to Lindsay. You notice your companions kind of watching you. Some of them seem like they're curious about what you're doing and what you're up to.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to bring them into this conversation yet, just because of those judgmental looks in their eyes of the bard hanging out with the bard's type. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go sit down with Lindsay and try and inquire further about these profitable endeavors.
Okay.
So Lindsay, you're looking for a profit, huh? Like, so I think I bought a little bit of time and questions with breakfast, and I think we're on to a little bit of, I don't know, there's something I kind of like about you, my friend. So tell me more about these profitable endeavors that you desire.
I desire the coin. What is it that you desire? That's the question. And how much is it worth to you?
Well, I personally desire to spread the story of San Leaf throughout all the lands. My comrades that are here with me on this journey, we each kind of, I don't know if you've ever seen that. I don't know. There was this place called Hollywood that made a bunch of movies at some point or something, and there was a movie called The Wizard of Oz where they went on this journey, and one person was looking to get courage, another was looking to get heart, and yeah, whatever. But we're all on these journeys, and well, I don't know. I'm sure that we can connect journeys, possibly. I don't know. Now, you strike me as someone who lives a life similar to a bard, where a little rough around the edges, maybe, and yeah, people are kind of I don't know, proceed with caution around you. You think you can maybe spiffy up a little bit and come have a chat with my friends?
Is it
Is
your
that
friends that
profit
are
that
gonna?
important?
Is it your friends that are gonna offer me a job? Then I'll go talk to them.
We'll have to see, because as good Sandleaf soldiers, we always make a decision based upon what the community wants. And our community right now is us five plus a dwarf. And don't mind the dwarf. I know how dwarfs can be. So don't mind him. But yeah, let's go have a talk and see what we can talk out. We're always, the more the merrier. It makes the lifting lighter. You know all those sayings. So what do you say?
Sure, I'll have a talk with your friends.
All right, just remember, keep the language, PG-13ish.
Ah, right. Yeah, I see. You got a loxodon. Sensitive ears.
All
You know.
right. So I get up and kind of lead towards. I think we're going to Bjorny first.
They're all kind of sitting at the same table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
So
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can just
I
like
think I was the
motion
first
us
one.
over and we'll go sit.
yeah.
I think I was the first one down, and everybody just kind of sat around me instead
Yeah.
of you. So
all right.
So,
Bob
yeah.
Barker, the half elf, leads the shady character over to your table.
And
He's
I walk up behind and I kind of tickle Bjorny's ear a little bit, and uh, just to kind of show that I'm almost as shady as Lindsay.
Trunk wrap around hand. Do not touch a loxodon's ears.
Hey,
Bob, always making friends, huh?
oh yeah, well, a story, a song can go a long way. I'd like to introduce y'all to somebody that makes me look pretty square. This is my new friend Lindsay. He's I don't know, he's looking to maybe help some people out, make a little coin. I'll let Lindsay talk to you because I don't like talking for other people. Well, no, I don't like talking for other people. That's why I didn't follow the family game show thing.
Lindsay leans in. Says, "Look, it seems from what your friend Bob here is trying to get at is you're in the need of things. I've got some specializations. I could get in and out of places, and I could get in and out of information. What is it that you're looking for, and what is it worth to you? I can help you out. I'm a friend."
What's in it for you aside from coin?
I'm just a man trying to make a living. Doing what I do best.
Is coin your only motivator?
That's right. And the more coin, the more quiet I am about whatever job you want me to do.
Are you a union man, Lindsay?
Look, Loxodon, I work for myself, and I'm totally unionized.
Local guild number.
I'm a one-man show.
So an independent. We'll have to check your sand leaf credentials. You said you're registered with the union.
Yeah, well, do your checking around if you want, but don't get me into trouble. I don't like a team that hires me to do something and then stabs me in the back, you know? That only causes trouble for everybody. Mostly the people who stabs me in the back.
Hey, Lindsay, you know all a bard's got's his word in this world, right? So I ain't gonna stab you in the back, my friend.
I know bards like their stories. You don't need to tell any stories about me.
Your anonymity is safe, Lindsay. Your anonymity is safe.
I appreciate your professionalism.
So if we needed to see inside Manor and Ludlow, or
Ludler?
what am I saying? Ludler. Sorry. What's your asking
Ah,
price?
Ludler's an interesting place indeed. Lots of conversations are happening in there. What's particularly are you looking for?
Well, we're trying to find out why our friend's house burned down.
Can you? Is there? Yeah.
Who has the key?
So
Who has the key currently? Anybody?
I
Who's
do.
actually? You
Malcolm.
have it, Malcolm. Jeannie will just kind of look at Malcolm and like start mimicking like a key movement, and just give him kind of like a slide eye. And like if he doesn't pay attention, he'll kick him under the table.
No, I go ahead and I get it, and then I pull out the key, and I set it on the table.
He kind of reaches out quick and just slides it across, and it disappears in his hand. He kind of looks down at it in his lap. Says, these are for some of the most permanent quarters in Ludler. He says, there are a handful of rooms in there. I could get in there if you like, or I could get you in there. What do you prefer?
I think we'd like to be in there.
At least one or two of us for sure.
I like firsthand knowledge.
All right. I could get two of you in there for 50 gold.
I go like when he said 50 gold, I'm like halfway eating my meal, and I'm just like stopping in between like.
So you got 3.
How about what I spent on breakfast? We don't get a discount for that, Lindsay?
I think I already gave you a bit of information. That's worth breakfast.
Lindsay, have you ever been inside Manor Ludler?
Many times.
You care to tell me about a little bit more about the comings and goings and the layout of the place over a second breakfast and a drink?
So I'd be happy to share some information. Says, you don't need my services getting in, but you just want to lay out to do it yourselves. Is that what I'm picking up?
Not necessarily. I'm trying to figure out exactly what we need based off of what we know about it, which we haven't been there yet. So, seeing as we haven't been there, I just would like to know what we're getting into.
I see. Well, the front of the building faces the government circle, the civil house, the augur civil house, and the circle thereof. The further you get into the back, the more the permanent residences. This key goes to a residence in the back of the building. That means whoever owned this key has been there for a while, or intends to be there for a while, probably under the direct services of the government. Probably somebody who doesn't necessarily live in town, but is going to be here for a while. People pay attention to who comes and goes. Says you can't get into the back of the building without being noticed. But I know a way in that you won't get noticed. Says that costs more than second breakfast.
What's your price you're talking here, friend?
Says you want me to share with you my secret entrance into Ludler. That's more valuable than even one piece of information.
How much money do we even really have? I don't think my character sheet doesn't have any on it.
I
So-
started out with 10 gold pieces, and I've spent about 2 since the beginning of the campaign, I think.
I mean, I've given some money to some people for some stuff, but I have
Yeah,
no
and I
idea.
think we've picked up money along the way, too.
So how much money do we actually have? Can we afford to pay to get a couple of people in? Or
Well,
how much would
I want to hear what his asking price is before I start talking about what we can afford.
It was 50 gold for 2 people.
50 gold for 2 people?
Yeah.
50 gold for 2.
But right now we're just talking information, right? We're just
On
talking
how
how
to
much
get
he's
there.
charging us for information.
It's going to be a lot more than it's going to cost to get a couple of people in, because that's his livelihood.
Well, but I just want to hear what he has. I kind of have a conversation in mind.
Cool. I'm still just curious as to how much cash we even really have, but yeah, let's go ahead and
Yeah.
go forward.
Yeah, I don't know what mine has either. It has something in there at some point, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think you found some treasure along the way. You found a gem at one point. It's probably worth more than 50, but you haven't really assessed what its worth was. So, other than whatever starting coin that you had on you, like little things like tavern and meals and shit, I don't want you to mark off and track all that crap. It's just like daily living. But if you're gonna bribe people or make big purchases, you're gonna have to track your gold.
So we don't have enough gold. We'd have to get the gem assessed first.
You also have a couple of magical things that you found along the way. Probably a lot of it you don't want to trade or get rid of, but you do have that puzzle box from Boxcrog, who's hiding in Kria's backpack still. Mostly when you're in public, he hides away. But you do have that puzzle box, and when you're kind of looking troubled and figuring it out, Boxcrog actually finds the puzzle box and shakes it, and you hear the sound of like gold coins inside of it. And he just
Boxcrog, what's that?
He shrugs his shoulders. Says, "Can't get in. Don't know."
Where's that Warhammer when you need it?
Genie will kind of poke at it with his negative intelligence.
This is a Sandleaf government building, right? This is all Sandleaf, and we are representatives of Sandleaf.
That's true.
You think we could just walk in and do a search?
Yeah. What if we just go in and start asking around?
Genie kind of just,
Lindsay, I really appreciate your time. We have another errand to run before we get back to you about any needs. We want to make sure that we're taking care of our new friends. I want to pat them, pat them on the chest and drop a gold piece.
Okay.
Into his lap.
And can I also persuade him to share with us on credit?
Go ahead and make your persuasion roll.
Oh, how did I know you were gonna say that to me?
Because
that's how you play.
You said the word.
That's literally how you play.
All right, not too bad. He says, The key that you have goes to probably about one of 8 different rooms. You'll have to try all 8 if you don't get any more information from folks there. But you know what I do. And if you need me, I'll be around.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I get up and walk to Lindsay and uh, tap the table. Be like, the key.
He slides it out of his sleeve and he hands it to you underneath the table.
I will. I guess I'll investigate the key. Oh God, make sure it's still the same key.
Nice, yeah. Go ahead and roll.
Good idea.
This is gonna be horrible.
Cool.
Yep, I'd be like, well, this is I believe. I look at it, it looks fine. And I go, you want to do any tricks against a follower of the one now, would you?
We all follow the one, lad. Why would I trick a fellow follower?
I'm going to insight.
Aren't we all faithful here at the table?
Speak for yourself, my friend. Speak for yourself.
All right. There's certainly a bit of sarcasm in his voice that makes you doubt his commitment
Right.
to the one. He says, nobody here wants to be strung up and lit on fire as a heretic, you know? That would be awful.
Oh.
But do I know if he's lying about the tricking or not? With that insight roll?
I'm pretty sure that that's the original key, but there's something else that he's hiding.
Well, since I don't really believe in divine beings either, I'll kind of wink at him and be like, I'm with you, but I think you might have something else you can tell us.
Do you know anything that happened in Patchtown yesterday, by chance?
Oh, I definitely heard about it.
What'd you hear exactly?
Says, I heard the old dwarf's place burnt down, and that the demonologist, the heretic, was involved, and y'all put him out of his misery. You know, soldiers talk. Not a lot of people in town talk to people in Patchtown. But I hear about things. I've got my connections there, too.
You happen to know anything about those heretics?
I've seen those folks around before. He's not the only one.
How many do you think there are
Is this all going on Bob Barker's credit
around
or
here?
not?
Well,
Let's ask Bob Barker.
yeah.
Like I said, I only speak for myself here, and I think my credit has been extended far enough at this point.
Very well. If you want more answers about your heretic friends and you've got the money, come find me. I'll be around.
I know one thing. I know that there's information, if you happen to see coming and going, between now and the next time you see us, would be well appreciated from me personally as a paladin of Sandleaf.
Says, yes, well, that's a bit of what I'm worried about. I'm not sure if you're ready to handle the truth yet.
What? Are they around us now?
And he'll kind of stare at him for a second and goes, We can handle the truth. Just kind of stare at him.
As well, the truth is costly. And as Bob Barker already said, his credit's extended. You're going to have to give me something a little more tangible than credit. If you want the real.
I've got a friend who's got a really nice warhammer.
Who's got the gem? Who's holding on to it?
The summoning gem? Or the actual cash gem?
No, I thought we had something that you said that was just like a gem that was worth some coin that we just happened to gotten appraised.
Yeah, you have a gemstone. I don't know if that's it. It might be Plantifa. I can't remember.
I have the summoning one.
Oh yeah,
No, I
I
think
have Box Frog with me.
I think you are the holder.
I have both of them.
Oh, maybe. I might have it. I don't know if I have it written here, but I might have
You're
it.
holding the royal gems.
Well,
Well, that's a mistake on you guys.
I'll look over at Kiara and say maybe the gem would be worth the information.
Kiria kind of like nods in agreement and fishes into her bag to pull it out and says, "Well, how much info is this worth?" While holding it out in front of him, but far enough away that only she can hold it.
This is that's worth quite a bit of information. Says if you handed me that gem over, then it would wash away your friend Bob Barker's credit, and I would give you the information you need. Plus, then perhaps you would have a line of credit with me then too.
She looks over at the group, kind of waiting to see approval. Like Bob's answer. She shrugs and says, "Okay," and hands it over and says, tell us what you know."
Is all right. He says those heretics that you're looking for. Says not only is there more at the Manor Ludler, but they also congregate in the Temple of St. Franz, the very temple of the one that you worship. Says I have seen those people go into the basement door in the back. Says they've congregated there multiple times that I've seen, and I don't watch it all the time. So you can imagine how often they go down there.
Jeannie will
right
look
under
over
the
at
nose,
Malcolm.
right
on that.
Right under the nose of the priests of the one. Says some say they're probably in cahoots, but I'd be a heretic to say that, so I don't say it. There's also the fellow that you burned the other day at the stake. He's been seen inside the government building itself. Because I think he has a councilman there, a friend named Truage. Says I've seen them talk. Says right inside the actual government building of the Augur Civil House. But I don't want to be caught up in any conspiracies.
Mm-hmm.
He pockets the gem. He says, if there's nothing else for now, he says, when you need me, I'll be around. You just bought yourself a friend. He gets up and just makes sure that nobody has any final questions.
Jeannie will be like, did that buy a good enough will to help us get a couple of people in? Or is the information enough to get us in, do you think?
Ginny, we don't necessarily need to sneak into our own government building to conduct an investigation on behalf of Sandleaf as representatives of Sandleaf.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to know the easier entrances and exits too, though.
You
Says if
seem
you
a
want-
little bit confident. You seem a little bit confident that we won't get any pushback when we go in there. Start asking questions.
I mean, wouldn't they want to know if a heretic attacked Sandleaf soldiers and it's suspected that's
Well, it
something
seems
was
there's
going on? There may be something going on in that room.
Well, if they're in the temple too, then there's a deeper conspiracy here that we need to tread carefully on. My character's stupid, but I guess he has wisdom. A little bit of wisdom, yeah.
Lindsay says, if you want in there at all, you're gonna have to wait for nightfall anyway. I'll be back here after dark and see what you want, what you need.
Okay.
You do it by the book. I don't do things that way. He gives a nod. Says, I have other business today. See you around.
Nice costume. I like how you prepared for this character.
A black hoodie. Surprise.
That was pretty impressive, making that
I
character on the
said
fly
gray
off of Bob
wool
Barker.
blanket, damn it.
All right. So what are you doing?
I'm grabbing the dwarf and taking him to the court he wants to go to, City Hall.
Yeah?
Are you just walking off without us?
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
You're gonna follow.
Finally.
He's kind of like, that's whatever.
What did you do with your warhammer? I thought you were dragging your warhammer. You got a dwarf in one hand and a warhammer in the other?
well, yeah, I mean, I finally got some food in me, so perked
Some
me up
coffee.
a bit. Put my Warhammer away. I was hangry, That's what happens,
That should be a slogan we use. Put your warhammer away, like in Veterans for Peace or something.
I like it.
When the
Put your
bro
Warhammer
bro-vets get
away.
uppity.
I guess it's better than fuck war, but yeah, but not really.
All right.
So yeah, no, I let him know I'm taking the dwarf to the city hall and see what's going on. Let him do his gripes, and then we could investigate from there.
All right. Well, if you all check out the map of the city, which seems like I've pushed over to the side for some reason. There we go. Now you should be able to see it. Up here at the top right, there's the Augur Civil House. These are the government buildings. This whole square is kind of like where the government buildings are around this fountain. The Manor Ludler is here, just underneath it. And then further south and to the right, there's the Temple of St. Franz. All these buildings are very close together. Y'all are all the way over at the Hidden Heart Inn. So that's basically where you're going.
Okay.
Goody.
The dwarf picks up a nice, good stick that he slaps in his hand. Seems like he wants to club somebody with as he marches his way to City Hall.
He's the old man from The Simpsons. That's a paddling.
That's about.
Oh, nice.
Accurate though.
What do you think you're gonna do to officials with that stick? You can't hit officials to get the answers, Bridge.
It's gonna make it harder for us to help you.
It'll make me feel better. I'm an old man. Why don't you just let me do what I do?
Because I don't want my good drinking gambling friend, my dice throwing buddy, to end up in a brig, and I would hate to have to put him there myself because he beat an official that didn't know anything. Like, there are laws. We're in sand leave territory, jurisdiction, the rule of the land. And then he trails off, mumbling, and locks it on. We always remember and must.
Can Genie try to disarm him, take the staff away from him, in a not aggressive way?
Yeah. You snatch it. Hey, he looks around, not even sure who did it.
Genie's just kind of holding it with his own staff too, so that they look like one. He's kind of shrugs.
Yep. The law protecting corruption. I've seen it before. I've seen it.
We will make
Okay, of
sure
course you have.
that your house, you get compensated for for the attack.
Instead of
So
being so angry with your fist, how about just using your words and let us be off?
Far your words get you. All right.
Oh,
you get-
that's. I point at everybody else in the group. That's for those guys. I was more with you with the stick, but you know.
All right.
Mhm.
You arrive at the square. The Augur Civil House is a pretty impressive looking buildings. Looks like you know, business and governmental civil business has basically been going on here for quite a long time. There's a lot of history and um you know, you could kind of feel the weight of all the decisions that have been made here in these buildings throughout time. And yeah, there's people coming and going through these in and out of these buildings. Looks like either you know, civil workers or you know, people trying to get business done here in the city are coming and going. And the dwarf seems to be marching up towards one of the larger buildings with the big steps that lead up into it. A whole army could probably march up these steps. There's about 3 different double doors that are wide open that people are coming and going out of. And he seems to be making his way up the steps when a man in dark blue robes comes out of the building talking to some other people and doesn't seem to really notice y'all. And the dwarf notices him right away. And he starts moving directly towards him. You hear him under the dwarf's breath. He says, "Councilman Tarouge." He starts moving up towards him, and he, you know, he feels around like he forgot that the stick is gone, and then just pounds his fist into his palm as he heads up to him. Do you want to intervene?
I'll make sure I'm behind him with each step because he's so fixated. So right when he gets, I'm waiting till he starts make a big yell shout before I pretty much grab him.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like right next to him to help him, or like
right.
next to the guy, the dwarf.
Yeah.
Kibri is watching with a crossed arms and a smirk.
Okay. Yeah, he pretty much like cocked back a punch like a good 10 feet away as he like marched up there. Like, no, you know, no reason to like conceal his attempt to like want to punch this dude right in the belly.
As Jeannie
Bob's?
and Malcolm grab him, I want to step in front and be like, "Councilman Tarouge."
All right.
Bob starts humming an angering song.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. What's an angering song?
Well, after I
You're a
said,
bitch.
way to take it back to Discord.
Oh.
That was nice. Well, when I said
You've
that,
been
the
holding that
next thought
all
that
the time.
popped into my head was that noise from Dumb and Dumber when they're in the van, the most annoying noise ever in the world.
Oh.
I'm not even gonna make it on stream because it's so bad, and I can only imagine what it would sound like in people's ears and coming out of computer speakers. No, but a song that includes that noise is going to be the angering song, and it's a song about houses being burned down and people being killed, and how the power structure lives in houses above those outside of town.
All right. Nice. Okay, Malcolm, Bjorny, you're able to stop the dwarf, stand in front of him. He gets grabbed and you know, he yells out, "You bastard, you owe me a house."
I'm gonna trumpet over him. Censor. Sorry, allergies, Councilman. I apologize. We have some questions though.
He does stumble back a bit, and the you know, the group of like dudes in robes and wigs around him kind of like move away. They like have no interest in in whatever quarrel is happening here, leaving Councilman Tarouge on his own to face you all. What's the meaning of this?
Good friends.
Sorry, Councilman. Sorry. Hey, would you happen to be available to have a conversation about ongoings out in Patchtown that occurred recently? Something that's under the purview of the city and the council?
This is Patchtown is out of the jurisdiction of this city, and I have no time to discuss such matters.
But someone's house burned down and you don't have time. You can take a minute.
But, Councilman, there was an attack on Sandleaf soldiers yesterday and on an innocent civilian. I feel that, this is worthy of your time, as Patchtown does have guards appointed by Sandleaf, and while it is outside the gate, they are people that live in Sandleaf's shadow and should feel the good mercy and governance of Sandleaf. Spare some time for us as officials of Sandleaf.
Have you consulted the head of the guard?
We have not, as
Well,
the guard was not there yesterday, and there is a concerned citizen that we are here with. Can I get a persuasion to get him, to win him over a little bit and have him invite us into his office at least?
go ahead and make a persuasion roll. I assure you, I'm terribly busy with city matters. And I will consult the city guard and speak to them. And if you would like to speak to them about this matter, I advise you to do so.
I show. Oh, I'm losing my grip.
You let the dwarf go?
Thank you for that advice. And I'm as he lets go of the dwarf, I'm going to spin around so I never see Bridge launching like a cat, and just let the dwarf go right by.
And I pull out my guitar and play the angriest song ever.
Can Genie push the dwarf's fist so that it has more power behind it?
Absolutely. All right.
Do you
So
want to roll for it, or does he just do it?
No, yeah, the dwarf just rockets up there, and he's on a lower step, and this councilman is basically has kind of a height advantage. So really, the highest the dwarf can even reach really is his gut. But the dwarf just kind of barrels into him with full weight, and basically socks him with old man strength. And
Nice.
The councilman just kind of crouches over and falls down on the stairs and kind of rolls down a few, and just it seems to be sucking for breath. And the dwarf kicks him once and looks like he's gonna try to keep kicking him.
Genie drops the staff on the ground next to him.
He's like, my beating stick. He goes after him. Does anybody want to stop him?
I'm turning
He's a
around
politician. Carrio does not want to stop him.
Yeah, nice.
I'm writing a song in my head
Nope.
about this.
No. I go and I do grab his arm, and councilman, it would be nice if you give us a little more info of what happened.
All right, he's wheezing on the ground.
Spin around.
Do you have a minute now?
Councilman, what happened?
He just points at the dwarf, and the dwarf wants to get him some more.
You are you saying you have time for a concerned citizen? Is this opening up time in your busy schedule for the matters of the city and its citizenry?
He finally catches his breath. Just keep your dog off of me.
Oh, I let go.
Dog?
You let
there's a
go of the
dog?
door?
Yeah.
All right.
Dog?
Don't
There's a
silly
dog?
dog's
You
name
heard that.
like
He
that.
called you a dog, so.
I'm
Genie's
looking for a
like,
dog.
he says that dog is the concerned citizen that you need a moment for.
All right.
As the old man attacks him again.
All right. Bridge is able to like catch the dude in the face, breaks his glasses, and the guy gets knocked out and is just spread out on the steps.
Is there another councilman nearby?
There's some looking in horror.
Medic.
I look over at him. Councilman, it seems that the weather has gotten to Councilman Tarouge or a phantasm of a dog. I don't see any dogs anywhere. Do any of you have time to talk about concerned citizens' concerns?
They all kind of back away. Everybody make a perception roll.
We're going into combat. Murder hobo coming out.
Nice.
I'm too busy talking.
Perception, right?
Yeah.
What? Fucked up, man.
All right.
Is it because I'm pretending to be a fascist?
We're still missing TJ, aren't we?
That's why. Is that who hasn't rolled? TJ, did you get it figured out?
I can't find it.
It's-
Below
Digital
your
stuff.
normal
I'm
skills.
sorry.
It's under your skills, alphabetical order.
That's what I thought. I perceive.
I perceived it.
All right. Who got the high here? Looks like Malcolm. Malcolm, you notice in this, like, up between kind of the doorway, looking out, as y'all kind of are looking for a councilman that is willing to speak to y'all, everybody's kind of shrinking back and away and just disappearing. Malcolm, you notice that there is a silver dragonborn in councilman robes. And he kind of stalls looking out the door while everybody kind of shrieks away. He makes positive eye contact with you and just raises his head. And he kind of looks up into the sky, and you basically see him mouth the words, "Not now, later." And he slinks back into the darkness of the building.
I give the person a nod, like, all
Okay.
right.
All right.
Well,
Yeah,
I
the
go-
dwarf wants to continue to beat this dude. Are you
I
gonna
stop
stop
the
him?
dwarf.
Yeah, okay.
I
The
tell
guy's
him,
knocked out, face up on the steps awkwardly, like kind of with his head partially down the steps now.
Right.
Genie's gonna
just staring
turn
up
him-
at the sky.
Genie wants to turn him to the nearest the dwarf, to the nearest other councilman, and kind of shove him that way. And be like, we should probably go, guys.
oh no. I grab the councilman.
Okay. The knocked out councilman?
Yeah, the knocked out councilman.
Okay.
I grab him, I pick him up.
I think we should get him to his office. He looks peckish,
Yeah.
don't you
He looks
think,
a bit
Malcolm?
tired.
Yeah.
Let's go to his office.
Councilman, thank you. Can you tell us where his office is? We will deposit him forthwith.
In fear, somebody gives you directions.
Thank you. We appreciate your
Poor
time.
staffer.
So it's the first hall to your right, and then a second left. Is that right? Is that what I hear?
I'm gonna.
Yes, of course. Don't talk to me.
I'm gonna put my hand on while Malcolm is holding the. I'm assuming you have him like over your shoulder, or something like that.
Like
Yeah.
propped up.
Yeah. I'm gonna like put my hand on Bridge, like my giant elephant paw on Bridge's shoulder, and be like, "See, Loxodon isn't scared," and walks like quietly and then like just walk the directions of that we were given to the office.
Okay. All right. You get up into his office finally.
What were those directions again? I forgot. I'm lost.
Do you want to purposely get lost in the city council civil building?
While
What do y'all
dragging an
say?
unconscious council member.
While y'all are wrangling an unconscious council member, y'all want the bard to roam city council hall?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that is 100%.
Genie's gonna follow the bard.
You're a bard. Collect all the
All right.
information.
So the bard slips away. When you take a right, he takes a left, and you lose track of him. Bob Barker's on the prowl. Inside Truish's office, there's some there's bookshelves and papers and scrolls and there's a bottle of liquor and maps and other things about, and there's kind of like a couch, a sitting couch you drop the councilman on. He's still unconscious for now, unless you want to try to revive him.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
we
draw a
should-
bad mustache on him first.
Yep. All right. He's got a very very awkward mustache. A Hitler mustache or like a handlebar thing? What do you go for?
Like a really bad handlebar one.
Yeah. Okay.
Slightly askew, one side's longer than the other.
Exactly.
Extra curl in the other side. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So you got the you got a sharp, tight mustache on one side, and then like the Yosemite Sam on the other.
Okay.
All right. The dwarf grabs a bottle of whiskey and takes a drink, and then he starts sprinkling it around the room.
No, dwarf.
He burned my house.
No.
Mm.
Spray bottle bad.
You take the whiskey away from him?
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely taking the whiskey away from him.
All right.
I take a sniff. That's good whiskey. What a waste.
I'll take
All
your
right.
money over the rest of that bottle tonight. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all doing?
I am propping the councilman up. I mean, he has a couch, but then he has his desk and chair, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm propping him in his chair. I am tying him up to the chair.
All right.
Is
He's
it-
tied to his chair.
Is that necessary, Malcolm? I mean, we are Sandleaf officials.
He's unconscious.
He's unconscious. Are we interrogating him? Like, we don't interrogate our own, do we?
Oh, you haven't been working. I mean, you should know this. We are the Church of the One. You know, we purge the heretics.
But we don't know that he's a heretic. He may have actually been busy.
Well, he should make more time when it comes to Sandleaf business.
I got nothing. Somebody else want to talk to Malcolm on this?
Kyrie wants to search through the office for any information that could be available or anything of use. Can I
All right.
investigate around his desk and such?
Yeah. Make an investigation roll.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. You're kind of searching around, and you find on the bookshelf, you find there in between a lot of other books. There's an unmarked black book that you're like, what is this? You slide it out, and it is a book on demonology.
Hey guys.
Jackpot! I grab it.
Get that back.
Evidence. Genie is again kind of shadowing Bob Barker to keep an eye out as he's wandering to make sure that he if he goes into a room, I'll like stand outside the room and watch for people or whatever
Mm-hmm.
for him.
Okay. Well, once I grab the book, then I will. Oh, can I? I can do medicine. Would that wake him up, or do I have to actually heal him?
No, you just do a medicine check, skill check.
All right, let me medicine him up so I get him back to conscious.
Okay. Let's see. What else do you find? There is a big map. And on the map, you see a place marked that's just north of Augsburg. You see an area that looks like it's marked and the path leading to it. That looks like it matches up to one of the vaults on your other map.
Okay. I have to spend an inspiration to do my medicine without trying to kill him.
Would you roll? Would you botch?
I rolled a 5.
Yeah. Was it a critical 1 though?
No.
You're not going to kill him. You're just not going to wake him up.
Oh, okay then. I'll try it one more time. Damn it.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you showed improvement.
Yeah. He has like an allergic reaction to whatever smelling salt concoction you put together, and you see his whole face like break out in spots.
Okay, I'll
You're just
cast.
basically abusing this councilman at this point.
Right. I will just do then cure light wounds.
Use the magic.
Yeah, I'll use my magic.
All right. You don't have to roll the dice.
Don't have to roll for that. He's healed.
Yeah.
Okay.
You heal him up. His spots kind of fade a little bit, but they're not completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
He now looks like he has kind of faded chicken pox all over his face, and he sputters and coughs, and he obviously he wakes up with a smile on his face, and instantly it goes away as he realizes you all are still there. He's like,
Wow, seems like someone is having a good dream.
what
Took a little weird nap there, buddy.
My glasses, I can't see.
You don't.
When you fainted from what I have to assume was a phantasm called by the sun that made you see a dog, you smashed your face on the steps and broke your glasses. I'm sorry.
You people are going to pay for this. You're going to pay.
Can I?
Is he tied up?
Yeah, he's tied up.
Okay. He's like, what's the meaning of this?
Well, we were worried that you would fall again in your slumber. We weren't sure how long, so we didn't want you to topple out of the chair. It's for your own safety. Can I use divine sense as I hold up the demonology book and be like, we're curious. Is there a lot of demonology going on around here?
He says, yes, there is. And we must know our enemy. And that is precisely why I have this book.
Insight?
Unroll it.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's full of shit.
Mm.
This dude loves demons.
Oh, man. It's a shame there's so many heretics around here. And kind of poke him in the chest with my trunk. I really, in a sand leaf building, to fear that heretics could infiltrate Poke.
Says, how dare you?
Or you wouldn't, because demonology is something that you're so concerned about. What can you tell us? Because it's a matter of importance that we find out why demonologists would attack a civilian in the shadow of this great Sandleaf city and attack a Sandleaf team of diplomatic soldiers. Is there something you would like to share with us about this Poke heresy?
He says, yes, that's exactly what it is. It's heresy. And
Intimidation.
I have nothing to do with it. What did you get?
A 12.
Okay. He says, you summon the Inquisitor if you must.
Oh, it's funny that you say something about Inquisitors. And then I just step to the side.
The Dragonborn steps up, golden scaled, dragon man. What are you gonna do?
I go with the beer or with the whiskey. You know, I go and I take a swig, a little bit. Pretty good. You know who I am because he sees my crest like the one, correct?
Yeah. Ah, thank goodness. Talk some sense into these people.
You know what the law commands me to do with the one. You know what I must do.
And I am a true follower. Says I am a civil servant. I am a politician of this city. Says I have spent my life serving the people of Sandleaf.
I start pouring it on top of his head, the whiskey.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Save a little. I say save a little bit, and Bjorny is gonna walk out the door.
Okay. The dwarf is like, burn him in this building down. Yes, burn it all.
Ivrea has her head in her hands, like, hold on, can we get information first, people, please?
No, I'm gonna get the information. So I go, I pour some of the whiskey there on him. I set the bottle down, and I ask him, so who are your other followers here? Compatriots, you pot nuts. I know you're heretics.
He says,
don't go by yourself.
He says, well, make an intimidation roll. I'll give you an advantage now that he's covered in flammable liquid.
Good cop also walked out.
Yeah, good cop's gone.
Yeah.
Shit doesn't look good.
15.
Okay. He says, I've been manipulated. He says, please do not take it out on me. He says, I do not have a choice. He says, it is actually the Inquisitor here in town. He's the one. He's forced this upon me. He says, I do not even have the power. He says, I just do as he wishes. He says, he's the one with the energy. He's the one with the gifts. He says, he's made a deal with one of the dark ones. Says, I do not even have connections. Says, it has nothing to do with me. Says, I'm a victim.
The Inquisitor's name? There's plenty of us.
Inquisitor Balzig.
Balzig?
Yes, Balzig.
Balls.
Which sounds exactly like Balzig.
But pronounced Balzic?
No.
Balzic?
Frank's having nut snacks over there.
Balslick?
No, I told you, Balzic.
Balls sick?
You know, no, with a G, but you pronounce it a hard G. Balzic.
Oh, so it's not like Lindsay who spelled it with a Z.
No, no, this is definitely spelled with a Z, of course.
Oh God. Have we been on deployment way too long or something?
You know what? It's great. I don't know how this became like Warhammer 40K Inquisitor. I like the turn, but
He's looking at us all confused and we're just cracking up at this name. Like, why are you
Balls.
laughing?
It's a perfectly common name.
yeah, balls.
What sorts of gifts does he have?
And
He's
I
been
go-
gifted
I-
powers by the Dark One.
what evidence do you have against this Inquisitor?
He's pressured me. He's threatened
know.
me.
I need evidence. Something. Paper. Ledgers.
Receipts, baby, receipts.
He says, well, he uses the power of the church. He says,
And he must not be the only one at the power of the church.
go and seek for yourself.
Hmm.
He says, behind the church, there's a dark altar. He says, only the Inquisitor and his followers goes and sees it.
Do you know
I will
where?
not go there, for I worry I corrupt my soul. I do not wish to be tempted any further. Please let me go.
Hmm. And what about this room? Who other people? Who other contacts? It's not just the Inquisitor. There's a councilman. What about
I'm just a civil servant.
Manor Looter or Leather?
Ludler.
Leather, sorry.
What about the manor?
Do your heretics go there?
Says, why would I know?
You're a heretic, right? Do you know about the Inquisitor and his dealings?
Says, I'm not a heretic. I've made no oaths. I only pretend. So do not seek the wrath of the Inquisitor.
Has he shown his wrath towards others?
He has. I've witnessed it.
In what
I've
ways?
witnessed sacrifices.
Where do these sacrifices occur?
I mean, I hear of them in the dark altar behind the church.
Your story is changing.
No, I'm just worried and confused and a bit blind because of my glasses. I tell you, you need to speak to Balzic.
So,
Where can we find him?
He is typically at the dark altar,
he's at the
communing
temple.
with the dark people, with the dark, the dark lords.
All right.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
What of our friend's house here? Surely there can be a resolution put through with your councilman friends to help replace his house.
Patchtown is not in our jurisdiction, but I'll see too he has a place here in town, inside the walls. The dwarf just says, I don't want to live in your filthy city.
I'm sure.
Gibbery just laughs and shrugs, like, all right, I tried.
This is, perhaps there's something in the coffers that he could replace his house however he wishes.
Oh yes, you will do that.
I'll see to it myself. Of course, I cannot
Gibbery
do
winks
so
and
tied
taps
up.
her short bow.
Okay. I cannot do these things if I am tied up or dead. If you wish me to help your friend, you must untie me.
No.
Flat.
No.
I will go and I'll gather everybody else. Make sure we grab the book and the map. Right? You said.
Yeah.
Does he? Let's see here.
If he has this trail marked on the map to this vault, he's probably talked to the other Sandleaf soldiers that are ahead of you.
Okay. And what type of door is this?
It's a heavy internal office door.
Just a heavy internal office door.
Yeah, that Bjorny Sanders is knocking on currently.
All right. I'll open the door.
Okay.
I brought snacks, but I dropped them. Sorry. I walk in.
All right. TJ, you're one. Oh, go ahead.
You look thirsty, Councilman. Just pour some water, like, down on his face.
Like water.
mouth.
Was that water in your trunk?
No, out of the water skin. I'm not.
Baby
I'm a
bird.
civil loxodon.
All right. All right. You get his face wet. Are you waterboarding him, or are you actually
No, I'm
offering him water?
I'm offering him water, but I'm not untying him yet.
All right.
Inquisitor, are we good?
Yes. We must go now. We have much to do.
All right.
Councilman, you were a little wobbly still. I noticed your head's bobbing around, and you smell like alcohol. So we really don't want you to hurt yourself. So we're just gonna leave you tied up here for a little bit until you maybe sober up and come to your senses about your priorities, whether it's drinking. And I'm sure the phantasm you saw earlier had something to do with your drinking habit. So for your own sake, may the one bless you and Sandleaf be ever shine on you. And turn and walk out behind you.
Yes, obey the righteous. Yes.
I make sure I go and I gag him too. Gag him. Go
Just-
ahead.
I have much to reflect upon.
Yes, you do. You should be glad I shouldn't have burned you right now. And then I walk away. As I walk away, I show because I could breathe fire. Show a little spark of fire out of my mouth.
Okay. All right, Bob. You're wandering around, poking about. You see a door kind of creak open, and that silver dragonborn kind of peek out and look around, and he looks at you, and he kind of gives you the nudge.
So I turn around and look for Frank because Frank's got my 6. Or
Frank,
Jeannie, I guess, in this conversation.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Both
so
work. Same person. Essentially.
No.
Not really. I mean,
Anyway, so and I kind of give the same, like he said walk this way, and so I'm walking this way.
Okay. You end up in
I'll
this.
follow.
You both end up in this councilman's office, and he closes the door behind y'all.
Doggy.
Puppy.
My partner's laughing at me about my whiskey.
Just as long as your partner does not start pouring it around the floor and treating you like a member of city council.
Yes. No, that's TJ.
Where's the sleeping bag?
No,
I want to see my sleeping bag.
you're on Twitch.
I want to see my sleeping bag.
You want to
You're
say
twitching.
How,
No, I don't. I just want my sleeping bag that you put away.
it's in the garage. with all
It's
the rest.
even weirder with a voice without a face.
Disembodied
watching
voice.
Charlie Brown.
Is that a new character? Is that a new NPC?
Where in the garage I looked?
And the shelf.
On the shelf up high.
Where all the stuff is.
Where the thing I can't reach.
I'll get it for you in like a half an hour.
No. What now?
I want an Oompa Loompa now, Daddy.
We are.
You know the scene in The Incredibles with Frozone trying to leave? His wife is like, absolutely not.
All right, so you're in this office with the Silver Dragonborn and who is the council person, and he closes the door behind him. Says who are you? What are you doing here?
Well, we are an elite squad of soldiers from Sandleaf. I myself am Bob Barker. I play guitar, sometimes in the air, sometimes the real thing. This here is my friend Jeannie, who tends to kind of help keep my head on straight sometimes. Sometimes I return the favor. And we're just kind of trying to find our way around here, asking about I don't know, there's some people who might be questioning the one in town, and also a friend of ours had his house burned down. So we've got a lot of questions and haven't found many answers yet.
He says, there's certainly trouble in this town. This is, I believe, the councilman Truage that took a beating from that dwarf earlier today has something to do with it for sure. He says, and there's individuals within the church itself that are corrupt as well. This is all very troubling. And you say you're good followers of the one then?
I've been known to set foot in that church before.
He almost seems disappointed.
Jeannie's kind of like shrugs a little, kind of looks like, hey, yeah, sure.
Can I
Kinda
start
winks.
singing some sort of church hymn to the one?
All right, you start singing. He says, "Yes, you've proven your devotion. Please stop singing."
Jeannie kind of like shakes his head.
He says, "Yes, perhaps you're not who I was hoping you were." He says, "Look, if you can investigate these problems, says I think they run deeper than I even suspect, but says I can only do so much." Says the church does not really. Says I do not know how your friend has done it, but they don't seem too keen for the Dragonborn. Says, and I'm a bit of minority in this town, so perhaps I've already said too much.
I look to Jeannie to see what Jeannie is going to say.
Well, I don't know if Jeannie's really going to say anything. He's got this ability, Heart of Darkness.
Oh, yeah?
He's just going to kind of look into the guy's eyes and actually use this ability. This is like you know how he always stares at people? This is, yeah, but I haven't actually used it yet. So I'll kind of like hint at that he's not necessarily a follower of the one to him, but doesn't want to blow his cover to Bob Barker next to him, that he's actually like basically an atheist, I think. Yeah, because he doesn't really believe in divine beings.
Okay. All right. He kind of looks at you. He's like, He says, there is a statue on the west side of town on your way to Patchtown. He says, everybody calls it the Rugon statue. He says, there's secrets there. He says, secrets of the old gods before the one. He says occasionally there's an old hermit that lives in the hills in Mount Benz who comes down to that statue. Says, you all should speak to him. Says, especially your friend Malcolm.
Jeannie will kind of nod. And is there any other information that you can help us with?
Says, do not trust the priests in this town. Says, I believe they are corrupted, and the Inquisitor has everything to do with it.
Jeannie kind of chuckles at, trusting in any priest.
He says, there is one clergyman that I trust, Father Black. This is a strange name for the one person that seems to be less corrupted. Says if you need to speak to somebody in the church, speak to Father Black.
How do we know to trust him?
You're not there.
Jeannie will telepathically know.
Jeannie asks.
Yeah, sure.
I want to ask, is there any message you would like me to relay to your fellow Dragonborn in our team?
Tell him to search his heart. Tell him to investigate the statue. Tell him to speak to the old hermit, the mystic. I call him Ben, but I think he has a different name.
Is the last name Schrader?
No.
Is his last name Kenobi?
His last name is not Kenobi.
First
but
name
he is an old hermit that lives outside the city.
On the outskirts of land,
Yes,
or away.
on the outskirts. That's right.
Are there drones looking for him?
I do not know what a holograph is. Speaking a strange language. He says, yes.
Isn't he also not really there?
He says, I've spoken to Father Black multiple times. He seems to be as concerned as others, as I am. He says, so I do not know. Time might be running out for him. Says there's probably only amount of time that they'll tolerate him not complying with the rest of their ways. Says if you could help him, I would appreciate it. He's a friend.
Jeannie will say we'll do our best to help a fellow. Bob, do you have any other questions for this nice gentleman?
No, I don't think so. I think we got as much information as gonna. I would like to ask him for a signed picture to give to my Dragonborn friend, because I don't run into too many Dragonborn, and I think it's a rare thing.
Says I don't have any pictures, but he pulls out something and he signs it and hands it to you.
A politician without pictures of himself?
Mm-hmm. He seems to be a humble, real politician. We'll see. Not like those other guys.
Well, thank you, my friend, and I will share this with my fellow Dragonborn, Malcolm.
Okay.
Or your fellow Dragonborn, not mine. He doesn't want to claim somebody like me.
You take it, and he ushers you out of the room. Once you get in the hallway and you look at what he signed, it looks like it's a script to allow you to get a room at the Ludler Manor. So you now have an official room. that,
Genie
uh,
will play the flute like a happy ditty.
and TJ plays, or Bob plays the air guitar or the air guitar. How do you do that?
What you talking about, Willis?
All
I
right,
got props tonight.
we're gonna stop
Ooh.
there. We've got maybe only like 15 minutes before cutoff before we can discuss some things. We'll see if we can get into a conversation here about the game or about anything that's on your mind. I mean, there's a lot going on out there. So
Is there?
yeah, in the real world, yeah.
I haven't looked at the news in a couple days. What's happening? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Trump should be reinstated as president by August, according to CNN today.
What a
I heard that
stand-up
one.
guy he is, huh?
Or that's according to Trump
Finally, someone
telling the
said it.
world that.
Hey, they shut down his
CNN
blog
just
today.
reported.
They
If
shut
there's
down his
one thing we
blog.
learned in this game
1 month.
session, it's we should trust politicians.
Oh yes, definitely, always.
Can we sing Netanyahu's praises today?
Oh yeah, another stand-up individual.
Heard, isn't he? There's a chance of him not because the president just changed over. I'm
Well-
not sure if that has anything to do with him or not. I
Well,
haven't
it
really
seems
looked too much into it, but I just read the new president was elected. So.
Isn't the replacement the moderate compared to Netanyahu, who previously quoted something about I killed plenty of Arabs and don't feel bad about it at all, and it shouldn't feel bad, something to that effect.
Yeah.
I believe.
I haven't read anything of that, but I'm not surprised.
I feel like in the U.S. we have a good understanding. I guess maybe in the radical left we have an understanding that like politics, there's a lot of shades, right? Like just because you're in the left doesn't mean that you're just because you're Biden and you're a Democrat doesn't mean that you're a good dude. And there's a lot of variations, right, on your political leanings and your ideology and philosophy, and that things are not so like black and white. And why the fuck do we have such a problem in this ethnocentric way of not realizing the complexities in other areas, like in Israel, that just because somebody is opposed to like Netanyahu's government doesn't mean they're the opposite of them. They're just another shade of bad.
Yeah, it's a really interesting phenomenon. I think that's like not unique to American politics by any means, but definitely deeply rooted here, where the opposition means one thing and one thing only. Like depending on who you are, the opposition to you, it can only be one more option, and it's just simply like not the political spectrum. I mean, Biden's a communist, and we need Trump back because the election was stolen.
I heard, who was it that was calling Biden a communist? Was it Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, that was doing it?
Well, we live in binary politics.
Speaking of
right?
communists,
Oh yeah, of course.
speaking of communists, the water actually gets even more muddy when you get into like lefty leanings and such. Like, if I have to proclaim anything, I claim just pure anarcho-Marxist. But like, you start hanging around some of the circles of my friends, and you've got like Leninists, Maoists, Marxists, like pure they're all forms of Marxism. Pure Marxists. Then you got people who don't even believe that Marx is right. They're so far left, or I guess they feel Marx is right, to the right of them, that is.
And then you have the really weird anarcho-capitalists and some really stupid ones like that, where it's just like you start wanting to like, oh my god, what? No, go away. Just you've
What
yeah.
exactly is an anarcho-capitalist? Can somebody
too
Like
far.
Ayn Rand, basically.
Yeah, Tea Party libertarian, basically.
Yeah, it's
It's like when the left and right go so far extreme, they end up meeting back in the middle somewhere. Yeah, that's basically what you got.
That's at like degree 359.
Yeah, I want to be left alone, but I want to be rich and exploit people. Is that cool?
I want to replace the exploitation of the state with the exploitation of Daddy Musk.
well, it turns into like an
like
absolute
those
rule of the market.
brothers, those brothers that have that energy company and put their name on every college and stuff.
The Koch brothers.
Koch brothers, that's it. Yeah.
So
One
is
more to go.
anarcho-capitalism basically equates to neo-feudalism?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually a really
Essentially.
good way to summarize it. That's how I would describe it.
Just
And
most,
I would. Oh, go ahead.
no, most tribal warlords, I think, are anarcho-capitalists.
I mean, doesn't
Yeah.
does that mean that like Bezos, who just bought land, like didn't Amazon just buy a shit ton of land in Nevada, and Nevada rule that like corporations can have city states and vassals? And
Yep.
didn't
Yeah, it's also being.
Bill Gates buy thousands of acres of land?
So now,
Yeah.
Is
And it's
anybody
mostly
paying
agricultural
attention to the
land.
chat? Because they brought up the fact that we were torturing somebody.
Yes.
We've kind of
Torture.
been
I
ignoring
would
it.
say that it was
Instead, we
more
were
like an
talking about
interrogation.
Listen, pacifist war vet. That was. Okay, yeah, it may have been torture. It may have been that.
It
I
was
mean,
torture.
if tickling
It was
somebody was
torture.
torture, then
I mean, like what? Okay, so here's the question: at what point
I
did
don't
it
know,
become
we are
torture?
in the U.S., right?
Well, we let someone beat up a public official, which, again, he's a politician, so it's
And-
kind of a
and the-
gray area.
The question
Go
was
ahead.
asked in the chat on Twitch: are politicians people?
Ooh.
This was when this was all going down earlier. So yeah, like when I was roaming around, I was actually able to pay attention to the Twitch chat. So
I normally don't like othering people, but politicians, okay, right?
Well, so it comes down to the whole to the power imbalance. I'm not going to condone or say that you should go literally harass council members. First of all, your local council member is probably not the person you have to worry about. Second
Right.
of all, probably not the best way to get your goals, but there is an imbalance there, right? For example, something with Nancy Mace probably self-vandalized their own lawn, but for example, just spray painting messages in front of a politician who's not been listening to people's demands for a while, to me is not necessarily cause for huge amounts of concern or any kind of backlash or a huge response, because there typically is a big response to something like that, right? Like when someone in power gets minorly threatened, it's a whole big deal, right? So we have to recognize that is a power imbalance. But Sin or Bjorny Sanders did waterboard a guy.
No, I was giving him water. I was giving him water, maybe forcefully while he was tied up in a chair.
Yeah.
He looked thirsty. I didn't drown him or attempt to. There wasn't a bag over his head, and there wasn't a sock in his mouth or anything of that nature.
Is that the standard for torture? You don't have a bag
no,
over your head, so
no.
whatever else is fine.
No, but I will. I want to ask. No, I absolutely added to the torture. I psychologically tortured him before I walked out of the room, and the walking out of the room was a continuation of that psychological torture. The whole idea of good cop, bad cop, and that shit to somebody that's tied up, the power imbalance, especially after being assaulted on the steps. Even though, I mean, a citizen's use of violence as their final recourse in redressing powers imbalance of the state, being a punch to the gut versus house burning down by assassins. It's kind of similar to what I like to think of missiles raining down on a city that is disregarded by a neighboring, larger, more established and backed city by a nation as big as Sandleaf, raining down fire on somebody's home, and a community defense force or something like that returning a rocket versus $1 billion. I think there's real world parallels to recent events in Bridge, a dwarf that has just faced reprisal from the state, seeking redress of that from the state.
So what is the transformative justice path for a corrupt politician who's a demonologist and working with the corrupt church?
Can I jump on a thought before we touch that? Coming off of what Bjorny said.
What do you got?
Yeah, like I kind of wanted to bring kind of what Bjorny was saying into anti-colonial theory with Frantz Fanon. Frantz Fanon says that like you can't commit violence against oppressors because violence began with like you can't have oppression without violence. So therefore, if you are responding to oppression, it's not technically violence in the sense of what we're discussing here, and that's kind of how I'm thinking of this. Like who had the power in this power dynamic? I was reading some Foucauldian power analysis earlier in the week, so y'all have really got my brain spinning now. But yeah, like who we were in this politician's office, like that is the seat of his power. So therefore, I think anybody that had less power than him kind of had a right. My dwarf buddy.
Man.
That pacifist war vet, that is, I gotta echo Metagamegate because I just saw him. I saw them pop a message. I don't want to assign gender pronouns to somebody I don't know. But
And I think Paladin Dad is laughing a little bit at your expense.
I know.
Yeah, well, it is screwed up, man. I never heard that, but like it's like it compounds the fact, like assuming that Iraqis don't know what electricity is or need to be taught it. Like,
Yeah.
like holy fucking shit. Like, like not that even compares to like torturing somebody and killing them, basically, but like just it's just more bad, right?
Yeah. It's
So just to clarify for pacifist war vet, they did not say that they actually said that.
But the sentiment is something that we have all heard in service. Like there are slurs and things that are thrown around that are blatant disregards for the life and damage that we are doing to that life. And while that we weren't torturing them, we were teaching them about electricity. All of us, being veterans or military industrial complex adjacent, absolutely believed that came out of some lance corporal, corporal, sergeant, staff sergeant, a sergeant major, an officer's mouth. Right? None of us batted an eye at the fact that was something that was that was insinuated, that was said. And the exact thing I was giving him a water that moving, it's not moving at the goalposts. I'm blanking on the rhetorical term, but like that just shift of the language, the reframing of what you're doing into an innocent thing that got out of hand or whatever.
You see it a lot in police departments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first thing you're going to do in war is dehumanize the opponent.
Yep.
And you dehumanize them by saying they don't know about electricity, or
I'll tell you right now, like when you're in country and you start talking to civilians and you ask them, what do you need to feel secure in this area? What do you need to help you? Or things like that, because you're trying to win the hearts and minds or anything. The one thing they turn around and say is electricity, money. They know, like, USAID and State Department and other agencies have been in there and have shown them this stuff, and then we turn around and intentionally deprive them of the things they actually need. Instead, we focus on more patrols in the area, more drones in the area, more intel gathering in the area, targeting their crops that they're growing for sustainment, or digging up their farmland so that we can put a FOB, a forward operating base, in the middle of bumfuck no place at an intersection that doesn't even matter, just so we have a presence there so they can feel secure when what they need is fucking electricity that can come straight off their green infrastructure from all the canals, the massive flowing man-made rivers that we put in there from the 70s and 80s, that we could easily generate electricity for these people. We or they, with some infrastructure and actual funding that isn't military related. Like, let the people do their thing. and they know what
Problem is-
electricity is.
Yeah, that takes such a long time to do. It takes a long time to convince top brass and top officials that that is making progress, because you won't see any kind of tangible progress for a while after it's built. And you might even see some weird regressions in between, even while things are so-called getting better, because some actors might try and prevent you from building the thing. Some people might say, no, you don't want that from the Americans, you want that from us. And regardless of whether or not they're right, it creates more challenges. So it's much easier to say we increase patrols, therefore increase security, because you can tangibly show that on paper to a higher up and advance your own career. So these things that would actually work are de-incentivized. And so our politicians people would it dehumanize them to say that they weren't. I still do contend that most politicians are people still. But that doesn't mean that you should be nice to your oppressor. Just saying.
Well, the infrastructure that we're talking about that Plantifa was commenting on isn't of any tactical value either. And if
Right.
in a military commander in an area is only worried about tactical because of the indoctrination towards warfare, the military is there to fight a war, not save people. Even if there is civil affairs operators or humanitarian aid or NGOs in the area, all that has to do with the military-industrial complex and how much it's a grift in a lot of ways. War is a racket, we know that. And I politicians are people, but that doesn't mean they should have positions of power if they've proven that they are irresponsible or have no regard for human life and the responsibility of the seat that they hold. So while we can sit here and talk about reprisal against politicians and council members in game and in Valheim, there has to be forms of redress that properly analyze the power that somebody has, the things that allow them to stay dug in and prevent them from being removed from power if they abuse their position, and that method of redress is someplace on the spectrum of violence, whether it's shouting them down and dropping signs outside their offices or delivering petitions on gurneys or throwing medals back from veterans. All of that happens on the spectrum of violence, right? Anything that would offend falls on the spectrum of violence. So you have to be willing to you have to know where you're standing at and what the form of redress that you're going to take is on that spectrum, and understand that that's part of whether they're human or not. The recognition of them being human or not, still you have to look at the harm that they've done and address it accordingly.
Well, we're gonna lose Bob Barker here. It is past time, and I think we're coming to a head.
I was sitting over here looking up somebody. Keenan said John Lewis, I guess it's in the UK, is a fancy store. And I looked it up, and yeah, it's like fancy homewares. It's interesting to think of John Lewis, what John Lewis means to us versus what it means across the pond.
Huh, yeah. Well, let's call it a night, and we'll drop out of here. We're not going to play in a couple weeks. I'm going to be traveling, moving to Maine, so we're going to take a little bit of time off. So don't expect us here. We'll probably replace it with something else fun and exciting. So keep a lookout on the Twitch schedule of other stuff happening. And when we do come back together, I think there's going to be a massive fight in the middle of the city with inquisitors and councilmen and dwarves and dragonborn and all sorts of stuff. So
Demons?
There's got to be demons always. Let's take it out of here. Sid, what do you got?
What I got is drink water. Thanks for joining us tonight. Really love the discussion at the end. Too bad it's a little bit on the short side. And TJ, thanks for sharing France Fanon. I want to look a little bit more into that because that's what you were meant. Was that who you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the whole oppression. You can't commit violence against oppressors.
Yeah, that's
That's Fanon's theory. That's the foundations of anti-colonial theory, basically.
I'm gonna have to look into it. Thanks for sharing that. Appreciate the name drop. Drink water, medicate it to regulate if you need to, stretch, and take care of each other.
And buy Dogecoin.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye.